Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Luis F. Alvarez Delgado, Frank George Antone, John Frederick Ashman, William Robert Baldwin, Sanders Ray Baldwin, Ronaldo Leon Barragan Jr., Dennis Guy Benson, David Edward Bergfeld, Paul David Berthiaume, Gary Preston Booth, Richard E. Bourne, Russell Lee Brown, William Nelson Boltice, George James Byrd, Joseph Milton Butler, Easley Philip Byers Jr., Joe Eddie Carter, Robert Kendrick Chase, James Noel Clemens, Joel Leslie Cook, Travis Richard Crockett, Jack Henry Curry, Michael Joseph DiNapoli, James Vincent Dragone, Stephen Ernest Ducart, Daniel Winslow Edwards Jr., Darrell Leroy Engel, Raymond Carl Eubanks Jr., Henry Elmer Evans, Gary Lee Fain, Errol Rufus Farrar, James Edward Four, Richard Joseph Forte, Truman James Gilbert, Wallace Going, Geraldo Hiliquin Gonzalez, Carl Raymond Goodfellow, Houston Grant Jr., James A. Gretzky, James Leroy Grundy Jr., Brownie Hall, John Sterling Hall, Eugene Howard Harriman, Dwight Hodges, Thomas Joe Hockelberg, Gary Lee Hogan, Emmett Harvey Horn, Dudley Carroll Hughes Jr., Herbert Edgar Ing III, Robert Raymond Jackmeyer, Willis Wayne Johnson, Raymond Donald Kaminsky, Arthur William Kearns, Bobby Joe Lawrence, Thomas Ellsworth Lane Jr., Jesse Ray Lindler, Oscar Burl Lyles Jr., Paul Ray Maddox, Marvin George Matternock, Richard August Marford Jr., Robert R. Martinez, Michael William McAndrews, David Michael McCord, Richard Ray Meigs,
Harold Lewis Mishler, Clifford Montgomery, Barry Mitchell Mounts, Irvin Jerome Morell, Franklin Wiley Neal, Thomas Leon Nelson, Bernice J. Novisky, Robert James Osborne, Donald Roy Oswald, William Turner Overcash, Annabelle Oila Robago, Antone Perry Jr., John Robert Phillips, David Neil Reed, John Howard Reeves, Henry James Repeta, Edward Leroy Rogers, George Frederick Sasser, Richard William Scobie, Donald Warren Sentman, Terry Wayne Shalhoub, Thomas William Shaw, Dale Edward Schultz, Michael Matthew Sikich, Gary Wayne Smith, Francis Craig Solers, Farley D. Thompson, Kenneth Eugene Thresher, Thomas Lee Tiglis, James Albert Tuller, Dwayne Arlen Vogel, Gerald Robert Wade, Nicholas George Walls, Robert Leonard Wehunt, Timothy Jampro White, Ulysses White, Hugh Gray Willard, Lester Lee Williams, Alfred Lacey Williams, James U. Williams III, James Carl Weiss Jr., Bain Wendell Weissman Jr., John Lawrence Wolfert, Lee Benjamin Zoller.